Sully here, the retired tanker yanker. My life after trucking. Sometimes I get in a mood where I'm just feeling like things just got me boxed in. It's actually in about 2 days it'll be exactly 1 year since I got sick and was hospitalized and eventually became forced to retire. And so what I'd like to do is a Bruce Cockburn song, which kind of explains, or kind of, I wouldn't, not exactly explains, but kind of says how I'm feeling. Bruce Cockburn wrote this song after an incident that happened in Philadelphia. He had just released a song, Wondering Where the Lions Are. And he was out promoting it, and a local radio station told him, hey, we're going to do a promo for that song. Come to the zoo and bring your guitar. And he thought, the zoo. It's going to have something to do with lions. Imagine his surprise. Well, he thought it was just going to be a photo shoot, but imagine his surprise when he showed up at the zoo and there was a small bleachers set up with people sitting in it and a portable PA system. And the radio station wanted him to play in front of the lion cage. Let me adjust this a little. I really hate doing this on my phone. Wanted him to play. And this is a radio station that had been promoting his music. In fact, the radio station, WXPN, is where the nationally syndicated program The World Cafe is produced. And Bruce Cockburn was the very first guest on that show, the very first artist to be interviewed on that show. And he said that while he was playing there, the lions were looking at him like he was their breakfast. And he was inspired to write this song. Let me get in position and see if I can get it right. Sunset is an angel weeping, holding out a bloody sword. No matter how I squint, I cannot make out what it's pointing towards. Sometimes you feel that you've lived too long. Days drip slowly on the page, and you catch yourself pacing the cage. I've proven who I am so many times. The magnetic strips won't feel. Each time I was someone else, everyone was taken in. I was chattering high places, stir up eddies in the dust of rain. Set me to pace in the cage. I never knew what you all wanted, so I gave you everything. All that I could pillage all the spells that I could sing. It's as if the thing were written in the constitution of the age. Sooner or later, you'll wind up pacing the cage. Sometimes the best map will not guide you. You can't see what's round the bend. Sometimes the road leads through dark places. Sometimes darkness is your friend. Today these eyes scan bleached out lands for the coming of the outbound stage. Pacing the cage. And that's Pacing the Cage by Bruce Cockburn. I'm going to show you something real quick here before I sign off. Proper humidity is necessary to maintaining your guitar. And a humidifier is essential. This is an Oasis humidifier. It has an absorbent gel in it. And I charge it with distilled water. It comes with a little syringe. Which I keep my distilled water in this little sport bottle. And all you do is remove the cap and carefully add distilled water. You add it until it's full, and you put the cap back on. And you take your guitar, before you put it in the case, and you go between the B and G string, or D and G string, and you stick it in and you sort of turn it there, and this little thing helps keep it, and it stays in the sound hole, and it allows moisture to get in there. Now, as I told you, I'm starting to get a little crack in the seam. The top is opening. And as I've said in the past, I've had two experts look at this guitar, and they tell me leave it alone until it gets worse. And as long as you keep it properly humidified and keep it in the case when you're not using it, it should remain stable, because this guitar has a brace going across here. It's an X brace. The X brace was invented by Martin. They never patented it, and so pretty much all acoustic guitars, all steel string acoustic guitars, use the X brace. This is about the weakest point of the guitar, and the X brace just makes it stronger. And there's also a couple tone bars in here and a couple up here, just to accentuate the tone from the bass strings. And now this is a Martin D35E. The D35 guitar features a three-piece back, and this is lovely. This guitar is made from East Indian rosewood. Martin used to use Brazilian rosewood exclusively until that wood became an endangered species, and they started trying to use more sustainable woods. But the idea of behind the D35 was, when they were still using Brazilian rosewood, they couldn't get the pieces wide enough to make a two-piece back. So what they came up with is making a three-piece back, book matching the outsides, and then putting a wedge in between. And that way they could use wood that had some defects in it, and they could split it out and make the backs. And the thing about this guitar is it also has lighter bracing. The bracing isn't scalloped. This guitar is the next step up the standard series ladder from the D28. And it's just a little bit more bassy than the D28, so the bracing is thinner. It doesn't have scallop bracing, but like I said, the X bracing is right here. It's holding this part together, and there is a plate of maple underneath the bridge. They glue up what's called a bridge plate. That's glued in there. And then you got the tone bars going out of the bracing that are pretty much holding this together. So that's going to hold it together for me. And if and when that crack starts opening up even more, that's when I'm going to take it and get it fixed. But right now, like I said, I had two expert luthiers look at it, and they said that the best thing to do is leave it alone. If it gets worse, it will be fixed. The repair is easy and it's inexpensive. And unfortunately, weather-related issues aren't covered under Morton's lifetime warranty because they can't do anything about the weather. So anyway, this is Sully, the retired tanker yanker. Safe and happy travels. This has been a Coney Island Whitefish production.